Here we are.
There you are. How are
Well,
you, pal?
buddy,
How's things?
I was trying to get on there for ages, but it wasn't working. How are you,
And
buddy?
I'm normally good now. I'm very punctual, so I was there 7 on the dot. Whatever happened, I don't know what was going on.
But it was 7:01, I think, for me, but a minute late, maybe.
It must have been people obviously trying to get on, Shane, but I'm really grateful to you for coming on. Obviously, we've been having these the last couple of weeks with what's going on. A lot of them were
Yeah.
football lads, and we were trying to mix it up, but you were a bit of a footballer yourself at one stage, so we'll get to that later on. But,
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
but plenty of fellas texting me about them days, but we'll get to that later. But just in terms of, I suppose, what's going on at the moment, Shane, and everybody finding it tough and lockdown, how's things been for yourself?
Yeah, it's been strange, Alan. You know, the whole thing is crazy times. You know, it's something you don't expect that ever happen. You know, but it does, and then you kind of it's funny now. It's kind of in a way we're kind of getting used to nearly it now. You know, that kind of way. It's like being in lockdown. It's like, you know, I was looking at stuff there last night in telly, like it was a match or something that was on, an old rugby match or something, and it was nearly weird to see a crowd of people. You know,
Yeah.
You kind of get that vibe going. Geez, when will we do that again? You know, when will we go to a match again, or when will it kind of, you know, stuff like that is just so not normal anymore now. You know, so I don't know. It's weird, man.
I think that's what's probably causing the most problems for a lot of people, Shane, is just the uncertainty of it. Nobody seems to know what's happening. It's changing day to day. I'd say the one positive out of it is obviously getting to spend lots of time with the kids and at home and stuff like that.
Yeah, there is that. That's probably the only kind of positive about this whole thing, that you know, we're all stuck at home, obviously, and we're all kind of, I suppose, trying to come up with things to do, you know, or whether it be make up new games in the back garden or whatever it is, or cleaning out the presses or painting whatever you have to paint. You know, everyone I'm chatting to seems to be painting.
Everyone's painting. I'd say the DIY shops. Paul Keaveney must be selling some amount of paint.
No, but I'd say it is, and it's kind of, I suppose it's just, you get to spend a lot of time with the kids, and which is nice, you know. And we're getting to, like, I'm not really a big cook, but I'm cooking like mad now, trying to learn different things and stuff that I didn't know I was any good at, you know. And now I really enjoy cooking. So that's something that we're doing. The kids are doing it as well. So like every day we do something, we pick a dish, and then Patrick will help me, or Shane will help Mummy, or whatever, you know, or Nicole will do one herself. She's really a good cook, Nicole, as well. But so yeah, stuff like that is just new. You're kind of getting used to new stuff, and you know, luckily the weather is nice. So you know, if you get out in the garden, obviously I'm out walking the dogs nearly every day, or trying to be in the gym, or running, or doing something. You know, because the worst thing to do is sit in and just watch telly all day, or you know, whatever. You try and stay away from the telly till the evening time. You know, so.
Funny enough, I haven't watched much telly, which has been great, because like that, you're trying to stay active, you're getting out. I've tried to set up a little routine and a structure to your day, like that, bringing the kids. I've almost turned 4 to 6 into like football coaching hour and stuff like that. And lucky where we are, Portmarnock, we've a lovely beach there, so we're out walking the whole time on the beach. No more than yourself there in Sligo, beautiful places around you as well. So I think that's important for people, just to stay sane somewhat, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Even getting out for walks, because obviously now, you know, places are closed and stuff like that, and beaches are closed and stuff. So it's just getting out for the morning walk. You know, we do morning walk or go for a run or whatever. But I'm probably doing more of that now. I'm probably doing. The dogs are loving it, like, because the dogs are going every day. This is great crack, you know.
Yeah.
You might only do it every 3 days or whatever in the past or whatever. Now it's like every morning they're nearly waiting for their walk, which is great, you know. And you get to obviously spend more time with the kids and stuff. And we kind of have, you know, watching TV at night. We all sit down at whatever time. It's like 8 o'clock, right? Let's watch an hour of TV now, and just different things. As you said, you try and make a bit of a schedule for yourself, you know. And it's kind of nice that you kind of spend time with your family a bit more, you know, more than you would like every day, all day. That was with your family.
Yeah.
At the start, you would think, you know, the kids will go mad if you're in lockdown for weeks and weeks and weeks, but they're getting used to it now. I think we're all getting used to it. Everybody is getting used to it and finding out new things that we didn't know about ourselves, you know, which is great. But
obviously the kids are on holidays at the moment, Shane, but how are you getting on, I suppose, with the homeschooling? Because we were fortunate enough to go to Summerhill, and there was some characters, the teachers we had, but what do you like teaching yourself?
I don't know if it would have been great now myself back in the day doing homeschooling, but it was hard enough when I was in school, you know. But yeah, it's good, you know. The kids obviously get their stuff every day, or get, like, obviously the last 2 weeks now they were off, but they're still getting stuff like sent to them and stuff, and you know, we sit down with them, and Gillian does a lot of it. She's great with it, you know. When it comes to maths, that'd be me. I do a bit of maths with the kids. When it comes to Irish, I'm like, good luck, I'm gone.
No, forget about it.
You know, I got a D3, I think, in D3 my leaving cert. Pass Irish D3, and it was like I got an A1 in honours maths.
Did you have Austin O'Callaghan?
Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant teacher, Austin.
Oh no. For Irish, I Donald Cronin actually.
Okay, I never had Donald Cronin.
No, I just wasn't great at Irish. I wasn't great at French either. I spoke French in my Irish oral at one stage. I came out with something, and but she still passed me, so it was all good.
Okay, I've set up a little corner here, like what Gabby Dunn used to have in Summerhill for Harry.
Oh, Gabby Dunn, yeah.
Anything just to get out of it. Yeah, I do get out, send him down to Gabby for 20 minutes to get out of the class.
Gabby actually lives out near me, so I'd see Gabby quite a bit actually. Yeah, I see him out in the golf and stuff
I still stay in touch with him, and he's sure Gabby's a legend. And I suppose that was the beauty. That's where I would have came across you first, Shane, was in Summerhill. Brilliant school, and as I mentioned, we would have had like great times growing up. But people tell me it's probably not the same now for a good reason, maybe. But we had great days growing up. I would have been out playing football, Dawson's. There was always a game of ball going on behind the gym. You were probably in the gym singing on the stage. I was out the back playing football.
That's it, yeah. That was our two paths. But yeah, no, it was great school, man. I used to love Summerhill. Great crack growing up, you know. Even like, you know, when it comes to all the sport, for me probably would have been more rugby, you know, in Summerhill near the end, because rugby was only kind of coming into that stage. When I played soccer and Gaelic, like obviously Gaelic minors and stuff like that for St. John's and up until it was whatever, 16, 17. But in Summerhill, it was probably more a bit of rugby and then obviously the musicals and stuff like that as well. But yeah, it was good crack. Rugby was only getting kind of a popular sport nearly at that stage. The grammar was all about rugby, and Summerhill didn't really play rugby. Now they have an unbelievable team, you know.
Yeah, because I think the progression with them, maybe obviously what's happening nationally as well with the international team and rugby, the success that they've had over the years, played a part in as well. But because for us, well, it was me, soccer was all soccer, but obviously we had the GA in Summerhill. But it's good to hear that the rugby is, I suppose, doing well now also. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, like it's, you know, they've top games against the Grammar now every year, the senior team, you know, and they've beaten the Grammar a few times, which is unheard of back in my day, you know. It was about 10 years ago, Alan. But yeah, it was unheard of. But like obviously Summerhill had a great soccer team. He won national titles and everything, didn't he, back in
David Q was obviously the coach. Yeah. Skippy McGowan as well, Lord of mercy on him, passed away recently.
Yeah.
But Skippy
Philly G would have played with you as well, wouldn't he?
Philly G used to try, yeah, but I think Philly Senior was more into the Gaelic and he was always pushing Philip towards the Gaelic.
Yeah.
Philip was a good soccer player as well now, but we had like the talent that came through the town really, Shane, and we probably never, that generation, I don't know, did we ever capitalise on the talent that was there at the time. I don't know what it's like nowadays. I think Summerhill were in the Connacht final recently and they got through to the All-Ireland, but certainly back then we would have been really dominant in Connacht in any of the games that you would have played, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just remember being in Summerhill and you always winning stuff and, you know, always in the All-Ireland final or winning the All-Ireland final, and, you know, it wasn't a surprise every time you did. So it was kind of, yeah, that was probably the biggest sport. Gaelic and soccer was probably the biggest in Summerhill, but yeah, it was more rugby for me probably, or as you said.
Do you still follow rugby now? Would you go and watch Ireland now or go to games?
Oh yeah. No, I love the rugby. Rugby's probably, you know, my favorite thing to go and watch as a game. You know, went to the All Blacks actually when we beat the All Blacks in Dublin there recently. I brought Patrick and Shane to their first rugby match.
Okay.
In the Aviva, and we beat the All Blacks, and it was literally like probably the best rugby moment ever. Like obviously bring your sons to it, and I said, "Oh no, should we beat the All Blacks all the time?" I was telling them, you know, but it was unbelievable atmosphere, you know, the Aviva and everything, and yeah, it was some game.
And I suppose with the young fellas now, Shane, obviously they're sporty and active. Would do they play rugby or what sports do they play?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they play all of it really. They play soccer. Yates United, that's our kind of local team. And then they play for Sligo and the rugby as well. Obviously, the rugby setup is great every Saturday morning out there. Like they must have, you know, there's so many parents involved, so many pitches, like literally all the age groups. They might have 2 or 3 teams nearly for some of the teams, you know. Which whereas back when I was playing it, and this is kind of, I suppose, is similar to Summerhill, you know, there was only like, we might even have 15, you know, for a match. We're going up to Galwegians or whoever it was. We wouldn't have maybe a full team. Now they have like nearly 2 teams for every age group, which is unbelievable. But I think that's a lot to do with the way rugby in Ireland has got so popular and the team have got so good over the last kind of 10 to 15 years or 20 years really. Showing me age there a wee bit. But yeah, no, it is. It's a great setup and the kids love it. You know, I think kind of for kids, try every sport they can. You just never know. They love the golf as well. It's a great golf setup out here in Ross's Point for the kids. You know, they play the wee Bowmore every 9 hole. You know, every Saturday mornings play 9 holes and stuff like that.
Okay.
They get a wee competition going. Which again, you know, Bertie's pitch and putt was probably the only thing.
Yeah, Bertie's, yeah.
But that's where we all went to play golf. You know, like golf wasn't a big sport. I probably 25 years ago. Not for my age group. Like even in Summerhill, it wasn't that big of a sport.
Yeah.
You know, so I think golf and probably rugby are probably my two favourites now. Like, you know, throughout.
There's so many opportunities, I suppose, for the young fellas now, which is brilliant. Obviously, as you say, it was probably a different time for us, but even I notice up here as well, Harry, is like so many different opportunities for whatever sports he wants, which is great. Just, I suppose, for the young fellas playing rugby, Shane, do you find now, because it's gone so physical to maybe when you were playing or looking at it back then, would it be something that you'd still be okay with them playing with as they get older?
Yeah, I think it's fine. You know, there's obviously, you know, you got to watch it as much as you can, obviously. But you know, at the moment, their kids, they're not at that level. When you see the senior team, then when you see other teams, obviously, and even you go to an international, like, you know, it's serious hitting that goes on. You know, and
yeah,
it's grand if your son's you know, playing for Ireland and all that. But you know, if he's getting knocked sideways every day, and it is dangerous, obviously, as well. But you know, it's kind of, I don't know what you do. You kind of just see how they get on, and look, if they ever get to that level, you know, we'll keep an eye on it, I suppose, you know. But I don't think they're at that level yet.
The other one then, Shane, I suppose, was soccer, and I wanted to ask you a few things about that. Obviously, you see often the celebrity games and the soccer aid and all that kind of stuff. I know Nicky fancies himself as a centre midfielder nowadays rather than a goalkeeper.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, Nicky loves it. Yeah, he's great.
Nicky's mad into the games and loves it. Yeah, but what about yourself? I think you played in it 1 year, was it? And do you get asked to play it in most years? Yeah.
Yeah, I played it in 2010. It was the year. It was actually funny, because we were playing Croke Park the same weekend. So I tell you, actually, yeah, it's a good story. Actually, we were playing Croke Park, and we were in kind of on tour for, like, let's say 2 months before it in the UK. But then during that week leading up to it, you do, like, you know, we were in Fulham doing training sessions, and it was the second year, I think. Nicky had played at the one previous to that. And then we both played in it. But anyways, we were training, but every day we had training sessions, and then we'd have a gig that night. So we go to the training session in Fulham, let's say, and made all the players and all that. And Kenny Dalglish was the manager. And we used to go up there and do the concert that night, back down and do the concert that night. Like, and like, you know, it was obviously important to be at training, but for Nicky, it was like the training was more important than the concert. You know what I mean? But which is great though, because it's you know, it's a fun charity game, but it's very competitive. You know, like, the world wants to beat England, you know, and that's it, and that's your whole goal for the whole week. But then at the end of the week, then we had Croke Park that weekend. So I remember we'd finished Croke Park that night. Myself and Nicky flew over to play the next day in Soccer Aid.
Okay,
so
really?
I was on the stage going, "Don't slip." big game tomorrow. You know what I mean?
And no pints that night as well.
No pints or nothing. No, straight off the stage. Myself and Nicky flew over straight after to Manchester, and it was in Old Trafford. Like, it's honestly, you know, even if you play a bit of football, like we said, you wouldn't have been into it like you were into it. But you know, I suppose to get to play in Old Trafford, to get to play at that level with people that are like, you know, the team was unbelievable. Like Zidane was on the team, Figo, Giggs. It was just like it was really, really like memorable kind of moment. You know, and a lot of the lads flew over for the game. So they're up in the box watching me, and there was another at the start of the game, myself and Nicky, because Nicky was watching. Nicky's always watching what's going on, you know, and he was like, you know, right, Kenny Dalglish says, right, let's split up into fours, you know, pick two partners there, go over there, blah blah blah. And we were like, and Nicky was like, come on, and he saw Zidane and Figo walking over, just kind of walking away from the pack, and Nicky went, come on, go. Nicky grabbed the ball, finally, come on, straight over
with them.
So we ended up having our warm up little kickabout with Zidane and Figo.
Wow.
So me, Nicky, Zidane, and Figo, and we're all like, you know, and we're trying to be cool. Like, don't make a show of yourself. Don't. Like, Zidane is putting it up on his shoulder and he's rolling around his back like that, and he's giving it off. And I'm like, literally just one touch give. We're all like this, you know. And the boys are up in the box, and I'm like, it's waving up to the boys. The boy, look at you, will you? Stadium, whatever, like, give it out.
And they properly prepare you for the week, Shane, don't you? You train all week, and it's a full on.
Yeah. It's full on, like, as if you were, like they say, it's like as if you were a professional footballer playing for a team.
Okay.
That you do, you know, you get the rub downs if you have sore legs. There's physios there. There's there's loads of people there. There must be 50 people involved.
Okay.
You know, as well as the players. Like, there's loads. There's catering staff. You go in for your lunch. You get your your pasta, your chicken, whatever they're giving you, you know, and they prepare you for the run up to it. They pick the team, then pick the team before you leave to tell you to start in 11, and there's like 25, maybe 30 people on the panel. Everyone gets playing and stuff like that, and it was you know, they get the bus up, they wear the suit, they do the whole shebang. Like,
yeah, I do watch it every year now. It's a great event.
Yeah, this year was great actually. Nicky did great in it this year because he was in for the penalty shootout.
Okay.
And he did great. Yeah, he won it for them in the end, which is amazing. But yeah, Nicky plays it every 2 years. It's obviously not on this year with all this, but it was some crack though, you know, like it was brilliant.
And was there any of them, Shane, I suppose, from training with them all week, you mentioned the names, obviously Zidane and Figo to speak for themselves. Was there any of them that really surprised you just in terms of how good they were from training with them each day and stuff that stood out a mile?
Well, Giggs, Figo was at some of the training. Zidane wasn't at any of the training until he came to the game. He flew
but when you're Zidane, you can do that.
Yeah, he flew in the different. But Giggs was at every training session. And Giggs was actually there. He was kind of, Giggs, he was helping us, you know. He was kind of teaching us little things or telling us little things. But just his touch was just unbelievable. Like when he was taking shots on goal, like we'd always just be watching him. And his finish, just different. He hits a different football, you know what I mean? We were hitting the same ball, but we weren't hitting the same ball. You know, and it's just his class. He's a very nice fella, you know what I mean, helping us out. Because we're all obviously around people like that, and you'd be a bit nervous going, right, lads, penalty shootout here now, here we go. And you're stepping up to take the penalty, and Dalglish is there standing watching you.
What's he like, Shane?
He's an absolute gentleman. Absolute
heard that, yeah. I go, because obviously he was sick during the week, and there was a big kind of outpouring for him as well.
How is he now? Did you hear any updates?
Yeah, he's fully recovered out of hospital and everything, which is great news, you know, because anyone I've ever spoken to in football, like, they've only good words to say about him, you know.
Yeah, no, he's an absolute gentleman, and he was a great kind of manager as well, you know, but again, very competitive, you know. He wanted to win the game. That's what it's all about. And you know, we had Mike Myers playing that year as well, you know, your man Shrek and all that, and Woody Harrelson it actually went to a penalty shootout in the end. So, and it was funny because in the second half, my two kind of standout memories from it is playing in the midfield, right? So I came on for the second half. I came on at half time, and I was playing right wing. So if I was playing, usually I'd probably play up front, but I was put right wing. I didn't care where I was put. I was like, right, here we go. So you're going along, you're looking over. So I looked across the line, and you had Zidane, Figo, and Giggs.
probably the best midfield that ever played at Old Trafford.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't going to say
Filan.
But and Filan then on the right. But I remember coming on and being all like mad to go. You know, I was like, it's pretty fit or whatever, and I was running like mad all over the place. And Zidane said to me, "Hey, relax." I was like, "No problem." Whatever you say. But he was unbelievable, man. He was, to watch him play, like probably the best I've seen play football, as in his level of quality, his level of touch. It was like he was playing slightly in slow motion nearly.
Okay.
He was like it. I don't know how you describe it. Nearly, he had the ball. He was like a ballerina or something. It was mad the way he was going on, you know. And
there's a documentary they did on him, which is amazing. There's no words or nothing to it. It's just like a portrait of him, and as you say, it's just showing him gliding around the pitch with like this opera music in the background to it. It's amazing.
But it is. He is kind of just different, you know. And when you watch him, you see him in all the games. He's class, whatever. But when you see him running along beside you, you're kind of like, he's going a lot slower than everybody else. Everything is just relax, slow, look, chill, maybe have a touch, give it, and you don't know what he's going to do, like, you know, that kind of way. It was amazing. But yeah, the penalty shootout then as well. So it went to penalties at the end. And,
did you step up?
Say again?
Did you step up?
Oh, I did. I took one. Yeah. I scored in the bottom right corner, son.
Go man, Shane. Go man.
But I remember just about. But I scored. But I remember Giggsy telling me, I was like, oh, here, man, here. You know, because you're literally like, who likes taking penalties? Not a lot of people. So I have a penalty shootout, and the boys are up in the box watching it. They're going to absolutely destroy you later on if you miss it. That's what you're thinking about as well. You know, so you're going to have to score this. And Giggsy comes over and goes, look, just relax. Just keep it low. Whatever you do, just keep it low. Because he has to dive to save it. If you miss it, you miss it. But if you put it high, you could put it over the bar, and you probably will. Yeah. You know, so keep it low and put it into the bottom corner as far as you can. And I did it, and it was great, whatever. But then Woody Harrelson steps up, and Woody Harrelson had been taking penalties all week and missing them. Like, I mean, horrendously missing them, you know. And Dalglish was trying to coach him on how to take a penalty. You know Woody Harrelson, like, he's an absolute, like, hilarious fella.
Yeah.
So we're all going, and next thing, it was kind of like, it was down to sudden death, and I think it was like 11 penalties all, or 12 penalties had been taken, and we were still level, still into sudden death. Next thing, Woody takes up the ball, you know, and we're like going. You know, like the whole week has been landed for this one shot, you know.
Yeah.
And we're all there like just in line, like it's the World Cup final, man. Honestly, it was horrendous. And then Woody steps up and absolutely nails it up in the top corner, just buries it. The only one he buried all week, and it was quality though. It was amazing. Like, you're looking back at it, it was quality.
So to go from that, then Shane, it's a far cry going from Old Trafford 70,000 with Zidane and Figo to Decky Lynch and Philip Gallagher and Mark Brennan. But obviously,
I was wondering, was that going to come up? I was wondering, was Decky going to come up?
He set up the team then, Sligo Plumbing and Heating it was, I think. How many years ago was that? 10 years ago?
Yeah, probably is actually. Yeah, be 2000 and... Well, Briggy is killing me now. Briggy knows the dates back to front. Probably, I'd say 2008, 2009.
Okay.
Yeah,
and obviously that was just a bit of crack with the lads. You wanted to set up. But you were saying there about how the soccer aid lads used to take a very competitive... I heard you used to take the night out very competitive.
It was very competitive, yeah, definitely. I think, you know, if you're playing any sport, man, unless you're just playing for the crack of the garden, but if you're going out in the pitch or playing whatever,
of course,
you don't want to, you know, make a show of yourself. You don't want to be, you know, you want to have a go at it, you know. But yeah, no, it was competitive. Yeah, it was competitive. It was up in the sports complex first.
Yeah,
up there, and then when the showgrounds put in their new Astra pitch, they had the new surface. So we went down there then. Did a couple of years there with a great team, with a load of great players. Like, you know, there was obviously great rivalry with other teams as well. There was obviously Fiddlers had a great team. Ghana McNamara had a great team at the time.
Okay.
The Guards had a great team. Like, so there was a lot of, you know, there was a lot of good teams in there.
Yeah.
McHugh's, the Belfry, all the kind of, you know, I suppose there was rivalry, absolutely, but in a fun way. You know what I mean? It was like you still wanted to win, but if you got bet, whatever. Like, you know, it wasn't like the Premiership or anything.
And you're probably being a bit humble now because a little birdie told me you scored 20 goals in 20 games. Two or three of them were OGs.
Was that Decky Lynch, was it? 2
or 3 of them were OGs, I heard. And you're still saying...
Oh, no, there was 19 assists and 1 OG. It's funny, man, because that year we had a great year, and I'll actually blame Decky Lynch for this, because he we were doing well in the season. We won the league that year and won the cup or whatever, but it was with a great team. And it was close right to the very end actually that season. But we I was up front and I was scoring goals or whatever, it was going good or whatever. And then I got to about 16, 17 goals. And Decky Lynch I remember picking up Decky one night, bringing him to the match. You know, we were playing, I don't know who we were playing, but anyway, we were going up to play and he says, a few games left, buddy. Nobody's going to remember 17 goals. You know, you have to get to 20.
Yeah.
I said, man, 17 goals is great stuff, man. That's more than that's more than scored anywhere before, you know. I know, man, but nobody really remembers 17 and 20. So who cares about that? Like, you have to get to 20 something. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. So we had 2 games left, and I scored a penalty in the second last one, and I scored in the last one, then scored a goal, and that was it, 20 and 20. So I was delighted. So I never bring it up with the boys now when we're out for pints, like, you know, if we go.
Yeah, he said you never bring it up.
anytime, and I do it at this stage now where I slag them, and I'm kind of like having a laugh, and I go, lads, you remember the 20 and 20, you know, and I bring it up in the middle of a night out, and the boys are going, oh, here he goes again.
Here he goes again.
But that's the one thing that winds them up all the time.
I couldn't tell you the last time someone probably scored 20 and 20 in the showground. It's been a long time. Obviously, with Sligo Rovers playing there.
In the showgrounds.
It's been a long time, I'd say. But yeah, that was a great time, I'm sure, for you, Shane, playing with the lads. And I know you stay very fit and healthy and active. The other sports that you're mad into the golf, I know, and you play a lot with the boys, Philip and Paul and Keith as well. Is that a regular thing? Do you go out every weekend as well?
Yeah, well, no, we probably don't get out as often as, I suppose, as you'd like, you know, but it's more when I'm away touring, I'd always like have clubs with me or whatever, or try and play, like this year, play some lovely courses, you know, like Birkdale.
When you're on tour, Shane, would Key and Mark or Nicky play golf? No.
The odd time Nicky might play, very, very odd time. But what I'd usually do is, like, one of the lads might fly over, you know, for the concert or whatever, and then play golf during the day, or try and get out as much as I can. Like, I play up obviously in Ross's Point, but like, you know, some of the local lads, local members up here. But yeah, we get out for the old 4-ball every now and then, but very rarely, you know. But I love the golf though. I love watching golf. I love even going to some of the tournaments. But watching.
Well, last weekend obviously was supposed to be the Masters, which is the probably #1 tournament. I think, did you go to it before? It looks amazing.
I did. I went to it in 2009.
Okay.
It was my 30th birthday actually, and I went to the Masters for my 30th. It was like, right, it's one place I've always wanted to go,
Yeah.
and I have to say, probably the best sporting event I've ever been to.
Okay.
Like by a mile, like it's unbelievable when you get out there. If anyone gets the chance to go there, I know obviously now it's like tickets are like gold dust to get there, but it's, you know, you watch it every year, and I think it's because you know every hole. That when
Okay.
every hole you see, you know it, and you nearly know like exactly which way it goes. So when you get there, it's like every hole you see is famous. It's not like going to another course where, you know, you wouldn't know what course or what, you know, who's, you know, where the bunkers are or whatever. You know every part of the Masters. So when you get there, it's
Apparently, it's very hilly, is it, Shane? And
unbelievable. Like you
I
wouldn't
heard that,
believe it.
yeah.
It's like going up High Street and down High, like literally like that.
Okay.
It's very, very hilly, and but it's unbelievably green. Unbelievable. Like it's
Beautiful.
like they painted the grass. You know,
Okay.
the 300 greenkeepers or something. Like it's crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, it is. It's that was probably my favorite. Angel Cabrera won it.
Okay. I remember that, yeah.
On a playoff, and I thought Harrington was actually going well in it at the time, and I remember hitting the tray. I remember I put a bet on him, and he went down the second hole, the par 5, and hit a tree bump out of bounds, and then took out another, hit another one, bang, out of bounds, and that was it. Good luck.
That was him gone.
That was the last bet I put on at golf.
On that, Shane, as well, did you find, because I've gone to a couple of the Irish Opens here, the one thing now the Masters is obviously amazing, as we know when you watch it on the telly. The one thing I found with the golf, though, and tell me what your experience of in Augusta was, I found it not a great spectator sport because you can only see one hole at a time, like, so you don't know what's going on around the course. What was that? Was it the same?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, I would agree with that. You know, it's not something I wouldn't go to like tournaments every month now or every week or whatever. You know, because it is something that, especially in the Masters, you'll hear a lot of roars from other places, but you don't know what's going on exactly what you're saying. When you see it on TV, you get a lot more better view of it or whatever. But plus as well, if you want to follow, like, let's say Tiger or Rory or whoever it may be, you know, the kind of hot player, there might be like 20 deep around the fairway, you know. Whereas I was out in Abu Dhabi, or out in Dubai actually, back a couple of years ago, and I got to experience golf in a much different way. Like, so the Abu Dhabi Championship was on, which is only an hour from Dubai, and I was out there working. I went up, and the boys were with me as well, Shane and Patrick and Gillian, the kids, Nicole as well, and we all went up to the golf. But there was like, you know, there might have been 100 people on a fairway.
Okay.
It just wasn't as busy, and I got to follow. We followed Rory, Jordan Spieth, and Ricky Fowler together.
Wow!
It was such an experience to see the three of them play. Jordan I think he just won the Masters, I think, the year before. Yeah, it would have been 2016 probably. He won it in 2015, didn't he? Yeah, so we went around. We followed him around all of the course, like, and you know, you were literally standing like that at the green, like, and the kids were like, literally, there's Jordan and Rory and all that. And for them, that kind of kickstarted golf for them in a way. You know, they liked golf, but they never played it. But they came home from that wanting to play golf.
Yeah,
which is amazing, you know. And I think as Rory's probably done a lot for that as well. I think in young kids now around the country playing golf, golf's become a really cool sport because of that as well. I think, you know.
Oh, such an unbelievable experience for the lads, because that's what inspires kids, I suppose. You said the boys coming home then mad to get the clubs out and go out and play, I presume.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I think, but you know, going to tournaments is great. But yeah, you're right. When it comes to the Ryder Cup, is probably the best experience for the crack if you're going to see the Ryder Cup, because you're seeing, you know, your play USA. But if you're trying to follow one player, yeah, it's very hard in a course.
At that one, what I decided to do was just follow Shane Lowry at the time. But I couldn't get over, even from watching all the other lads, but mainly Shane, the sound of the ball coming off the club compared to when you're out in Bertie's pitch and putting mulligan around the place.
Yeah, but it is, though. They hit a different ball, you know. It's unbelievable. And, you know, they don't hit bad shots. And when they do, they're still on the edge of the green or wherever they are, or in the bunker. And they're delighted. Like, if you go in the bunker, you'd be raging nearly, you know. You'd be going, oh, here we go. You know.
It's phenomenal. Because it's only when you play yourself you realise how hard it is. And they make the ball talk, like.
No, absolutely, yeah. It's they're obviously, you know, you're just gifted with it. You know what I mean? It's like, even I played in a couple of pro-ams as well. When you're walking along, watching them hit the ball, and the same. It's all about they just hit the ball slower. They're slowing down. They're taking their shots. They're, you know, but the sound of it, yeah, that's the difference. If you close your eyes, you can hear the difference between us.
One of the fans actually texted in a good question, Shane. They were saying, because obviously they know you love golf, was if you had one player that you could play around with, who would it be?
Probably have to be Tiger Woods, obviously.
Has to be Tiger, wouldn't
I think the whole world would say that. Yeah, probably Tiger Woods.
Have you ever met him?
Say again?
Have you ever met him?
I met him once, actually. Yeah, I met him once back in 2010 at the Deer Manor at the JP McManus Pro-Am.
Oh, yeah.
Met him at that and watched him play, but I was actually hitting balls right beside him on the practice range. That was one of the most, like, literally horrendous moments. You're going, don't duff it. And he's right beside me hitting balls behind me, and I'm just saying, playing it cool, playing it cool. Just stick to the ways. Don't dare take out a 3-iron or 4-iron. But,
are you good?
Huh?
Are you good?
I'm all right, man. Yeah, I play off like 15.
Yeah.
I play maybe a few shots better, but I love it. I love it more than I'm good at it. If you know what I mean. It's always one of those games that you think, the more you play, the better you get. Like, but I'd love to get down to single figures. That's kind of a goal of mine. I'd love to get to 9 maybe someday, or even 10. I'll take 10, but single figures would be great.
It is. It's very hard. But you mentioned there, Shane, that it's probably your favourite sport and event to be at. This might sound a bit mad to you, but my favourite sporting event out of everything I've been to is the snooker, the Crucible.
Oh, yeah.
And I go over a lot with, obviously, friendly with Ken, and we had Ken on the chat last week. He's a great fella. But we've been over with me Dan, Connor and Monty and the boys the last 5 or 6 years. And the telly, it just doesn't know justice whatsoever. I'm trying to explain this to people, and they're just not getting it whatsoever, but it's phenomenal.
It's absolutely pin drop stuff. It's beyond phenomenal because, the pure silence of it, and you have these players in front of you, and they're only like, you're so close to them as well. You can nearly, the seats we had the time we were there, you can nearly hit the back of the queue, like, you're taking a break, And the year we were there, John Higgins won. I was there when Ronnie won it and when John Higgins won it. But yeah, it is unbelievable. It's completely the opposite to golf, nearly, in a way.
Yeah.
On telly, you get a better view, but on telly, sometimes snooker be like, kids be like going, oh, that looks a bit boring. Like,
yeah, that's exactly it. Like,
when you're in it, though, it is. It's unbelievable. When when he does a 100th century break or a 147, or if you're lucky enough to see it, it's unbelievable. It really is.
They're just because obviously you play a lot of snooker. I played a lot of snooker and the embassy or wherever over the years. And
table 7, boy.
Which?
Table 7.
And it's a tough game. It's very, very tough. But when you see them playing, and I've been lucky enough, I've gone up to Ken's place and practiced with him a few times as well. He actually made 2 147s. We played 11 frames one day, and I thought is this the norm? And we were sitting down having a cup of tea afterwards, and I says to him, Ken, is this the norm? Like, and he says, no. He says, I haven't made a 147 in 6 months, and he made 2 in 11 frames.
That's unbelievable.
Unreal.
Ken, actually, I know Ken as well. Ken came to my house once before. He was doing another good story, actually. He was doing a session with Steve Davis and Sligo. They have a exhibition, yeah. About 10 or 12 years ago as well, around 2009 or 10. And so Ken was down, and I'd know Ken, whatever. He came to a few of the concerts ever, and he called over and he said that, you have a table, we'll have a wee frame, So he called over during the day, and we had a couple of frames on the table, which was unbelievable, and just again to see the way they hit the ball, it's just slow motion stuff. It's unbelievable. But then that night, there was an event or something on in Sligo that I was going to, a local event thing, and I got the call. Ken gave me the call. Goes, listen, the thing is finished here. What are you doing later? He says, myself and Steve are going to come out and give you a game. And I was like, all right, yeah, see you later, man. Yeah, good luck. Your mum and dad were at the thing with me. And I was gone out the door. It was like 11 o'clock at night or whatever. And came out to the house. The two of them came out to the house. So Steve Davis drives up to the front door.
Wow.
And Ken Doherty. And I'm like, what's the crack here? And I rang the boys, telling them, lads, you want to get out to the house? Drop it. I said, there'll be a wee game going later on. But we ended up actually playing pool, playing killers for most of the night. Like, with a few shots with Steve and Ken on the snooker table just to say they played on it,
Yeah.
And, but we went upstairs then playing killers. And it was all fun, a bit of crack here and there, take a shot. A couple of us won, a couple of us bet Steve Davis. Briggy bet Steve Davis at a game of pool.
Did he, yeah?
Oh, yeah, still talks about it. And, but no, it was great crack though. But then when it came to it then, there was 18 fellas there playing and a tenner a man for a game of killers. Steve Davis walked out with 180 quid. Gone.
Did he, yeah?
He had like 3 or 4 lies and everything he had. He was potting blacks all around him.
Well, we've been over there a few times, and with Mick is on there to chat as well, Ken's manager, Mick McLean, and friend. And we've been over there with them. And like that, Davis, I'm not surprised he won it and kept the money, because he wouldn't spend Christmas when we're over there either.
it's great crack actually over the Crucible. Actually, you know, you get really well looked after over there, and it's such an experience if you're a snooker fan, because everybody's in close. You know, everyone's backstage. So whoever's not playing, like you've Stephen Hendry or you've Steve Davis or whoever it is, John Parrott, all the kind of legends of the game are backstage. They're either commentating or they're in the players' lounge. We're up in the players' lounge and stuff like that.
Unbelievable.
Like, it's an unbelievable experience. You're going, all the world's best players are in these 3 rooms, you know. And it's just an unbelievable experience. It's something that I wanted to do actually. I was hoping to actually go this year before obviously all this started. But
well, there's talk now that I think they're trying to get it going ahead in July, I think was the latest I heard. But like that, my dad was snooker mad growing up, so I got the opportunity to bring him over 3 or 4 years ago. And as you said, they're Ken looked after us, unbelievable. But the access we had, Shane, like, and as you said, he met every one of them he met. Barry Hearn and all. So my dad couldn't get over this, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is. If you're a snooker fan, it is probably the best experience. And I recommend everyone that loves snooker go to the Crucible or go to, you know, Crucible is probably the best one out of all of them, obviously, but there's other ones you can go to. But I think, it's definitely something you should do, and definitely something I'm going to do as soon as this thing is over.
100%. We might see you over there. Okay, Shane, listen, you've been brilliant with your time. Before I let you go, there's lots of people texting in and fans just, I suppose, wondering about the music or what's happening at the moment. There's a lot of uncertainty, but just, I suppose, from your point of view.
Yeah, it's basically, we're kind of like everyone else, guys, you know. It's we don't know is the honest truth. You know, some of our concerts have already been cancelled. We're still waiting to hear what, you know, we had a whole stadium tour planned for June, July and August. And we don't know is the honest truth. You know, we don't know what's going to happen next. We're waiting on word on further concerts. Obviously, Wembley Stadium this year is a huge one for us as well. In Cork, we're playing Park Equive in Cork.
Yeah.
You know, we're hoping they'll go ahead, you know, but you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen the next few weeks. But you know, it's hard to know. But as soon as we can be on stage, we will be on stage everywhere, all over the world, as soon as we can. And
last question, Shane. Taking a penalty in front of 70,000 at Old Trafford, or singing in Croke Park in front of 80,000?
Which is better, or which is more scary? Singing is no problem at all. If I could sing the penalty, I'd be loving it.
But you see,
definitely scary is taking a penalty. Definitely one of the scariest things I've ever done. Yeah.
But that's because, see the way you said about Zidane, he glides around. He looks at you singing in front of 80,000, and that's what he's saying about you.
Mate, I don't know now. He was pretty cool. He was with the wee jacket on him and all that.
But listen, Shane, you've been absolutely brilliant with your time.
Cheers,
and not only on this, I've known you a long time, but you've been absolutely brilliant for Sligo as well. And you're an absolute gent. Tell the family I was asking for them. And hopefully when all this is over, we'll see you soon.
See you soon, Alan. Cheers, buddy.
Thanks a million, Shane. See you, pal.
See you later, buddy. Take care.